Okay, we had said this yesterday. I tried to say, I get it. You look at this and say sponges. Oh my God, this is going to be boring. We're all going to look like Mr. Now, see, I caught you that time. I got you. We're not laughing at secret smiling too. Yeah. The strangest thing is trying to go to sleep when the sun's still up. In June, it's still lights out at 9 o'clock, right? And you're looking outside and the sun's still up. Doesn't make any sense. That fire guards, they still got that stupid stuff. The worst one is when you are off and you have an hour to go. That's happened to me. You just stayed awake, probably. Okay. So, one of the biggest aspects that you need to do, we said this yesterday, we need to know these final names. Okay? So, when we look at this for peripheras, these are all based off of the Latin language, because sponges have lots of what in them? Lots of pores. So besides the animal sponges, or besides the clean up tool or material of sponges, what else could we look at in this room that has lots of pores in it besides your skin? What? That's true, but you can't see. I never thought of that. What else has pores in here that you could see? The ceiling? I never thought of that either. I look at the walls. Yeah. So when you look at even whether it's concrete or whether it's these cement blocks, you can actually feel that as you run your hand over. All the different edges that you feel are all the pores inside that concrete. And that's the same with these animals. They are very porous. Okay? Now, what makes these animals is they are multicellular. Okay? And when we talk about cells at the basic level, yes, it is very, very boring. I get that. But we need to have a place to start. In case you were wondering, well, why does it say evolution on there? I decided to flip-flop these chapters at the last moment. We're actually starting chapter 5. Then we're going to go into evolution. So we kind of get an example on how and why these animals have changed. So if we go the opposite direction of a multicellular organism, multicellular is over here, what's in the other direction or other end of the spectrum? Single cells are unicellular organisms, okay? And that would or might be who? Starts with a B. Bacteria. That's right. Can you throw viruses in with that? No, virus or no. Say that again. Yeah, it's pretty hard to kill a living thing. That's what I always laugh about when you look at these Lysol wipes. It kills 99% of viruses. Well, it's kind of like, I'm sure you've heard this before. What is it? Kicking a dead horse or something like that. You ever heard that before? Where did I see that? Was it 60 Minutes or maybe it was Sunday morning, the show Sunday morning. How many, I would be totally against eating horse meat too. It was one of those two shows, 60 Minutes or the show Sunday morning, that I saw it somewhere in the news that people are starting to push for eating horse meat. Yeah, I agree. So, it's axiomatic. That means, I didn't even have to say it, that you're already a horse lover. You think it's terrible, don't you? Right?
Obviously, I need my own horses. Use them. But like, a horse market is broken down, so it's not cheap for me. Everybody needs like, bovine livestock or cattle livestock.
That's true. I didn't
That's
know.
what was it, 5 years ago, the horse market was sky high. That's when everybody stopped eating all this time, and now it's dropping significantly.
Oh, see, sometimes if I flip through the channels, whether I'm driving here or there, or on Kellerland midday, they go through the markets. And I look at feeder cattle prices. It's got like last spring, they were incredibly high. So some.
We had that big storm on the west.
Yeah, no, I remember that the state cross country meet was in Rapid City, and you maybe didn't know her, whether you said Callie or Callista. Was it Verver?
Yeah.
Her and Jess had both qualified for the state meet, so we're going. Of course, the easiest way to go over on the interstate, and once you got West River, you would look in these pastures, and there was still. This was probably might have even a week and a half to 2 weeks after that blizzard. That, I suppose some of the carcasses were starting to not melt, but be able to be found once the snow started to melt again, which. That's kind of an uneasy feeling, and I'm sure for many farmers or ranchers, that might have, obviously, that was a backbreaker, of course, and that's really, really too bad. And maybe some of you have family at West River, and maybe you know that happened to somebody. That'd be awful. But even last couple of years, if some of you had the idea of going into farming, if it was cattle farming, I don't know how you could do it. You trying to pay for feeder cattle and trying to stick that high corn into them, that's probably not going to work. But anyway, all right. So when we look at this multicellular organism as opposed to a single cell, okay, we look at this here, okay, smaller units, okay. So it's kind of like what I like to refer to as a division of labor. So when you look at straight east of your land, your egg, are you putting up another?
It's a lumber yard.
Oh, okay. So let's say, well, it's a lumberyard anyway. So a general contractor. Do they do all the work from digging the holes, leveling out the dirt work, putting into the posts, and pouring the foundation, and doing the roofing? It's not the general contractor, isn't that his job? Well, why do the subcontractor? The general contractor should do it all. Why not?
Because the subcontractors are usually specialized.
That's right. So these organisms are no different, okay? So when we're looking at a multicellular organism, it's kind of like having different subcontractors out there. Whether it's cells for movement, for nervous tissue as well. It could be cells for digestion. It could be cells for skin cells. Now, if these animals don't move, which they don't, there's two types of tissues that are not going to be found within them out of the four. There's four types of specialized tissue. There's epithelial, skeletal, muscular, and nervous. So of those four, two are missing. What might they be? So they don't move. So what are they missing? See, I gotta have this shirt to cover up all my big bulging muscles. So it's funny. How the gun shows down. They're not here, it's down. I can't. Okay, so what type of tissue is that then? Muscular tissue. So how does that muscular tissue actually know when to contract? What's starting it to? Nervous tissue. That's right. So these animals only have epithelial tissue and connective tissue. I said skeleton, I meant connective. Okay. So again, you got a general contractor would have plumbers come in, roofers, I want to say carpenters, electricians. So they subcontract out. So these organisms are very much like that. You have a division of labor to make the process more efficient. So for those of you who have dogs, and maybe all of you, how many of you let the dog lick your face? I mean, it's not terrible, but you ever think that maybe, I'm not trying to scare anybody, you ever think that maybe I shouldn't let him or her do that? Right. Because the reason I bring that up is, let's say you go into a Walmart or Target or Lewis or whatever, and you got those canisters of disinfectant wipes that you can take out and wipe down the shopping cart. Anyone, I don't do that. The reason my argument is we've been living beside bacteria for 20,000 years. They haven't finished it off yet, I don't think. But then there's on the flip side, I think of this every time. Anyone ever heard of Along Came Polly, that movie? They're sitting at the bar and she's reaching into that bowl of nuts, peanuts. And Ben Stiller, and it's Jennifer Aniston, so he can't do that. Does it ever go through your mind, would you go to a strange place and eat the peanuts out of a bowl with a bunch of strangers? But aren't those in the shell, though? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I guess I'm not quite sure, but anyway, how many of you would still eat the peanuts? Everybody, or? But why does he say never eat the peanuts in a public place? Could be, but his idea is those individuals that use the facilities don't wash their hands. So does that change your perception then? And then of course she goes on to say, well, I was hungry and I ate them anyway. But anyway, when it comes to bacteria, yeah, I think we're probably okay. Now, are there certain strains out there? Yes. But this is microbiology, it's still not just zoology. Okay, so as we move on, I want to do this one, and then we'll stop at the end of this slide. anyone in here have fish tanks? Or a fish tank? Yeah. Okay. Well, what happens if you don't change the filter in your fish tank? Well, I should say, what can happen?
Nothing really to mine.
Okay. But if it's Nemo and all the other ones in there, you stop the water circulating through the filter, turns spilled. Or, does anyone in here still change their own oil?
Yeah.
It's typically, you have a problem underneath. Obviously, you want to make sure the oil gets warmed up, or else it's going to be sitting there all day. But you take the plug out, drain the oil, make sure you put your plug back in. Change your oil filter every time too, or every other time. Okay. So why change your oil filter? Why not just leave it on there?
Because whenever you got metal shards in the filter, it's just gonna go right through it again.
That's right. So when we talk about filter feeders, okay, which is what these animals are, they're in the water. So water currents come in through the sponge, tiny little structures, grab the algae on there, filter it out, and then the pure water goes through. Kind of like you have oil circulating through your engine or your valves, not your engine, through your valves, and then if there's any types of impurities, well, then the oil filter grabs them and the oil keeps going. Kind of the same concept. Okay, typically I don't talk that long. We kind of got off topic, but we will continue with this tomorrow.